You think you're just getting older. But what if your poor sleep and constant trips to the bathroom at night were symptoms of something else, silently disrupting your health? In the next few minutes, you'll uncover the surprising truth and learn how to regain control naturally. Let me take you to a moment you probably know too well. It's 2:47 in the morning. You open your eyes, frustrated. Your bladder is calling again. You tiptoe half asleep to the bathroom, wondering why this keeps happening. You don't remember drinking much water before bed. You try to fall asleep again, but your mind is racing now. The clock ticks. Minutes pass. Then hours. Another night lost. Another day that will begin with fatigue, foggy thinking, and a silent feeling that something just isn't right. Millions of people in the U.S. experience this every night. Interrupted sleep, frequent bathroom visits, and no real answers. It's often dismissed as just part of aging, stress, or having a small bladder. But the truth is far more complex and far more important. Because poor sleep doesn't just mean feeling tired. It quietly sabotages your metabolism, weakens your immune system, increases your risk of high blood pressure, and interferes with your body's ability to repair itself. It becomes a domino effect that touches everything, from mood to memory, from weight gain to blood sugar instability. And here's something even more surprising. The same silent factor that's affecting your sleep could also be behind those constant nighttime bathroom trips. It's a connection most people never suspect, one that even routine checkups might miss. And yet, when you understand this one hidden cause, you'll be able to address two of your most frustrating health issues at the same time. Let me be clear. We're not talking about prescription medication or complicated treatments. We're talking about simple, natural adjustments, supported by science, accessible to anyone, and often overlooked. But there's something else you need to know. And this part is crucial, because when it comes to health, the details matter. A small mistake in the timing or preparation of a natural solution can not only reduce its effectiveness, it might actually backfire. That's why I invite you to stay with me through every step. You deserve to understand the full picture before making any change to your routine. And yes, there's a bonus. A tip I'll reveal at the end that can significantly enhance the benefits of what you'll learn today. It's something rarely discussed, even in wellness circles, but it can multiply the results of everything we're about to uncover. And the best part? It's inexpensive, easy to find, and totally natural. Now, back to those restless nights. Picture your body as a finely tuned system. When it works well, everything flows. Hormones, nerves, muscles, digestion, and rest, all aligned. But what happens when something small goes off track? Often the symptoms start subtly. You wake up once a night, then twice. Soon it's a pattern. The body, out of rhythm, starts giving mixed signals. The bladder feels full when it's not. The brain doesn't enter deep sleep cycles. The balance is gone. What if the issue isn't your bladder at all? What if the real problem lies in how your body is processing certain common foods? Or how it's responding to low-grade inflammation you don't even feel? This is where the silent factor begins to reveal itself. Scientists have recently uncovered something intriguing, a link between disrupted mineral absorption and the body's nighttime regulation. This means the food you eat, the time you eat it, and how your body metabolizes those nutrients may be sending signals that trigger unwanted bathroom trips and block your ability to stay asleep. This is not about cutting out entire food groups. It's not about restrictive diets or intense exercise routines. It's about restoring balance to the systems your body depends on to regulate rest and eliminate waste properly. And believe it or not, it all starts with understanding one organ that often goes unnoticed when we talk about sleep and urination: your liver. When the liver is under pressure, from poor nutrition, stress, or even late-night snacking, it shifts its activity into the night. That internal shift wakes up the digestive and urinary systems when they should be resting. So your bladder might not be overactive. It might just be reacting to a signal that shouldn't have been there to begin with. That's why, before we can talk about solutions, we need to understand the actual cause. Because once you see how interconnected your body truly is, the steps to better sleep and fewer bathroom trips become clearer and simpler. In a moment, I'll walk you through a surprising insight about one of your body's most misunderstood systems. and how it could be the key to unlocking the quality sleep you've been missing. This next part is one of the most important. Ignoring it won't just limit your results. It could lead to long-term imbalances that silently affect your entire well-being. Many people assume that frequent nighttime urination is just a matter of drinking too much water late in the evening or simply getting older. But the story is much more layered and far more surprising. What if the issue isn't your kidneys or your water intake at all? What if something else entirely is disrupting the way your body handles its nightly functions? Let's look at what really controls your sleep and bathroom patterns. Most people don't realize this, but your nervous system and your circadian rhythm work together like a master clock. They decide when your body rests and when it's active. They decide when hormones are released, when digestion slows, and when the bladder should be on standby mode. But when that system is thrown off, even slightly, the effects ripple across your entire night. What causes this disruption? Here's where it gets interesting. One of the most overlooked causes is a phenomenon called inflammatory signaling. And no, this isn't the type of inflammation you feel, like a sore joint or swollen ankle. This is silent, it's internal, and it can be triggered by very common dietary choices, things you might eat every day, thinking they're harmless or even healthy. We're talking about additives, preservatives, and even natural compounds in some popular foods that overstimulate the body at night. For example, eating late at night, especially foods high in refined sugars or processed meats, forces your digestive system to stay active long after you should be resting. And that sends a message to the bladder. Stay alert. We're still working. Add to that the role of the sympathetic nervous system, the part of your brain responsible for fight or flight. When it's triggered, even by something as subtle as a late-night snack or blue light from a screen, it can keep your body in a semi-alert state. You may not feel anxious or wide awake, but your organs do, and that includes your kidneys and bladder. Research now shows that people who wake up frequently to urinate often have no measurable problem with their urinary tract. Instead, they show signs of what scientists call autonomic dysregulation, meaning the body isn't properly switching from active mode to rest mode. It's like trying to sleep while your internal engine is still running. Now think about the consequences of that night after night. Not just poor sleep, but higher cortisol levels, weakened immunity, and eventually poor blood pressure control. And yes, even your risk of chronic disease goes up, all because your body thinks it's daytime when it should be resting. The question becomes, what are you doing that may be keeping your internal systems from shutting down? Could a seemingly innocent food or habit be overstimulating your body at the worst time? Here's where we need to consider your liver again. This organ doesn't just filter toxins. It helps regulate your hormones, blood sugar, and fluid balance. And when it's burdened, from sugar, alcohol, heavy fats, or even certain medications, its workload doesn't pause when you sleep. It keeps going. And when the liver is working overtime, it signals the kidneys and bladder to do the same. But the liver isn't alone. There's another player, your adrenal glands. These small glands sit above your kidneys and help regulate energy levels and stress responses. When they're overstimulated by caffeine, stress, or erratic sleep, they release hormones that make your bladder more sensitive and your sleep more shallow. So we now begin to see that poor sleep and frequent urination are not isolated issues. They are symptoms of a deeper imbalance. And the solution is not to cut out all liquids at night or rely on sleeping pills. The real answer lies in supporting your body's natural rhythm. This means adjusting what and when you eat. It means calming your nervous system in the evening. It means giving your liver and adrenal glands the space and nutrients they need to do their job during the day so they can rest at night. And it starts with awareness, with realizing that this silent factor isn't just affecting your sleep, it's affecting your energy, your mood, your health. But there is good news. You can reverse this. And the first step is understanding the specific foods that may be disrupting your rhythm without you knowing. Because once you remove those hidden triggers, your body can begin to return to its natural state of rest. What I'm about to share next is one of the most important parts of this entire journey. Skipping it won't just hold you back from seeing results. It may actually make things worse in the long run. And I want to make sure you have the knowledge to avoid that. Now that you know your nightly interruptions are likely coming from deeper imbalances and not simply your bladder, we need to dive into a hidden culprit that most people overlook. It's on your dinner plate, in your pantry, and even in the so-called healthy snacks you keep at your desk. What you eat, and when you eat it, may be training your body to stay alert instead of powering down for rest. Let me start with a question. Have you ever eaten a meal and felt strangely wired afterward, even if it was something light? That subtle restlessness is a signal, a clue that your body isn't relaxing into its recovery mode. Instead, it's responding to ingredients that are overstimulating your nervous system and digestive organs. And if this happens close to bedtime, the result is predictable: shallow sleep, early wake-ups, and the need to urinate. Let's talk specifics. One of the most problematic food categories for nighttime overstimulation is processed meats. Bacon, ham, deli turkey, sausages. They're often marketed as quick, protein-rich options. But most of these products are loaded with sodium nitrite, a preservative that not only affects your blood vessels, but also places extra strain on your kidneys and liver. Then there are the healthier snacks: protein bars, granola mixes, flavored yogurts. Many are filled with hidden sugars, caffeine, or artificial sweeteners like sucralose and aspartame. These sweeteners have been shown in some studies to interfere with gut microbiota and even influence insulin levels, which can contribute to nighttime awakenings and fluid imbalance. Another common offender? Evening comfort foods that are high in simple carbs. Think pasta, white bread, pizza, or sugary desserts. These foods trigger a rapid rise in blood sugar followed by a crash. That crash sends stress signals to the body, which can wake you up and activate your kidneys in the middle of the night. You didn't just eat a treat. You accidentally triggered a mini stress response. Even something as seemingly harmless as diet soda or a decaf coffee after dinner can keep your internal systems alert longer than they should be. Decaffeinated doesn't mean caffeine-free, and even a small amount of caffeine in the evening can alter your bladder sensitivity and interfere with melatonin production. Let's not forget alcohol. It may help you fall asleep initially, but it disrupts your deep sleep cycles, acts as a diuretic, and forces your liver into high gear. As your body processes the alcohol, you get pulled out of deep sleep and the bladder fills faster. That's why people who drink wine or cocktails in the evening often find themselves awake at 3 a.m., needing to use the bathroom. So, what can you do about it? First, begin by identifying your regular evening eating habits. Are you reaching for salty, sweet, or processed foods after 6 p.m.? Are you skipping dinner and snacking late instead? Are you relying on sugar or caffeine to push through your evening tasks? Try shifting your dinner to an earlier time and focus on whole, unprocessed foods. A plate with cooked vegetables, healthy fats like olive oil or avocado, and a moderate portion of protein, such as wild salmon, lentils, or organic chicken, can be deeply satisfying without overstimulating your body. Support your digestion by allowing at least 2 to 3 hours between your last bite and bedtime. That gives your liver and stomach time to begin winding down, signaling to the rest of your body that it's safe to rest. And if you're craving something sweet, try a small piece of dark chocolate with no added sugar or a herbal tea with natural calming herbs like chamomile, valerian, or lemon balm. These not only soothe the nervous system, but also support better hormonal balance overnight. This awareness of your food environment isn't about restriction, it's about alignment. Aligning your eating habits with your body's natural rhythm. Because when your body receives the right signals, it responds with rest, recovery, and balance. Many people don't realize how much power they hold in the kitchen. A few consistent changes in your evening routine can dramatically reduce nighttime urination, improve the depth of your sleep, and give you back the energy you've been missing in the daytime. But there's something even more important that often confuses people. It's the belief that drinking less water or sleeping more hours will fix the issue. In reality, the solution is rarely about doing less. It's about doing things differently. And there's one common habit that seems like the right thing to do, but may actually be making everything worse. That's what I'm going to walk you through next. And it's one of the most overlooked steps in this entire process. Ignoring it won't just limit your progress. It could create a rebound effect that makes your symptoms even harder to manage. So be sure not to miss what comes next. You've seen now how the foods and drinks we consume, even the ones we think are healthy, can quietly work against our ability to sleep and rest fully. But what happens when, even after improving your diet, your nights are still interrupted? That's where we need to challenge some of the most common sleep advice that, although well-intentioned, might actually be doing more harm than good. Let's start with one of the most popular strategies, cutting off all water intake in the evening. Sounds logical, right? Less water should mean fewer bathroom trips. But here's what actually happens. When you drastically reduce your hydration late in the day, your body senses a mild state of dehydration. And as a result, it triggers your adrenal glands to release stress hormones, including vasopressin, which tells the kidneys to retain water. That's right, you're now encouraging your body to hold on to fluids in a way that can increase nighttime urgency, not reduce it. Instead of stopping water intake altogether, try spacing your hydration more evenly throughout the day. Focus on drinking more during the morning and early afternoon, then naturally taper off in the evening without fully cutting fluids. This allows your body to process and release what it needs before bedtime without triggering internal alarms that something is wrong. Another habit that often backfires is using sugary herbal teas or natural sleep aids without understanding their full effect. Many commercial teas labeled as sleep support are loaded with additives, artificial flavors, or even hidden caffeine from blended leaves. And certain supplements, when taken in the wrong dosage or too close to sleep, can actually disrupt your sleep cycles instead of helping them. The key is using these tools with purpose and precision, not as a nightly crutch. The same applies to trying to go to bed earlier to catch up on sleep. While getting to bed at a reasonable hour is important, suddenly shifting your sleep window without adjusting your body's rhythm can lead to long periods of tossing and turning. It's not just about the number of hours you sleep, it's about the quality and the timing. Your body has a natural clock, known as the circadian rhythm, and it needs consistent signals to keep it aligned. Going to bed at the same time every night, dimming the lights in the evening, avoiding bright screens, and creating a relaxing bedtime ritual are far more powerful than simply laying in bed earlier and hoping for rest. Let's not forget the hidden role of blood sugar stability. One of the most frequent, but often misunderstood, causes of nighttime awakenings is a drop in blood glucose. If your last meal was high in carbs or sugar, your body may release insulin too quickly, leading to a crash. That drop wakes you up. Worse, it may also signal your kidneys to activate, leading to urination. Supporting your blood sugar with healthy evening meals, rich in fiber, healthy fats, and steady protein, is essential. Now here's where we tie everything together. Think of your sleep as a house. If one window is open or one light is left on, it's harder to fully rest. Poor sleep is rarely caused by one issue alone. It's a combination of small missteps, a bit too much sugar, not enough minerals, blue light too close to bedtime, or skipping breakfast and then overeating late at night. All of these send mixed signals to your nervous system, your organs, and your hormones. But the good news is that fixing these small habits leads to big change. And that change doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing the right things at the right time. Start your day with hydration and balanced food. Give your body daylight early in the morning. Avoid stimulating substances in the evening and learn to wind down consistently. Treat your evenings like sacred time, because what you do in those final hours before sleep doesn't just determine how well you rest, it shapes how you heal, how you think, and how you age. You have far more control over your nights than you've been told. And while the solutions may seem simple, the impact they create over time is powerful. When you learn to support your body's rhythm, instead of fighting it, your systems begin to cooperate again. You sleep deeper, you wake up less, you function better, and your health finally starts moving in the right direction. But there's still a crucial piece missing, one that, if ignored, can cancel out all your efforts. Because even if you eat well, hydrate properly, and follow a solid evening routine, without this next step, your results may plateau. Or worse, you might unknowingly cause your body to compensate in ways that lead to other imbalances. What comes next is one of the most foundational tools in this process. It may seem simple, but it must be done correctly. Done wrong, It can undo progress. Done right, it unlocks the full potential of everything you've built so far. Don't skip it. The small changes you've made up until now, adjusting food choices, aligning your bedtime routine, and managing hydration, have already set the foundation for better sleep and fewer bathroom interruptions. But there's a deeper biological mechanism that often gets overlooked. It's not just what you do or when you do it, it's how your body absorbs and uses the tools you give it. And this is where we uncover one of the most transformative discoveries of recent years: the role of mineral balance in your nightly rest. Inside your cells, every function depends on a delicate interaction between minerals. Magnesium, potassium, calcium, and sodium are not just names on supplement bottles. They are tiny messengers that regulate muscle relaxation, nerve communication, fluid movement, and even the triggering of hormones related to sleep. When even one of these minerals is out of sync, your body begins to show signs. And two of the earliest signs: light sleep and increased urination at night. Take magnesium, for instance. It's involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, many of which relate to calming the nervous system. Without enough magnesium, your muscles remain tense, your mind stays more alert, and your bladder is more likely to send signals even when it's not full. Now consider this. Studies show that nearly half of Americans don't meet the daily recommended intake of magnesium, largely due to the overconsumption of processed foods and the depletion of minerals in soil. Potassium plays a similar role, particularly in how the kidneys handle sodium and maintain fluid balance. A diet low in potassium and high in sodium not only raises blood pressure, but also increases the likelihood of nighttime urination. And yet, the typical Western diet, rich in salty snacks, fast food, and refined grains, makes it nearly impossible to maintain that balance without intentional effort. Even calcium and phosphorus, when consumed in excess or imbalance, can interfere with how your cells relax and recover overnight. For example, too much phosphorus from soda or processed meats can block magnesium absorption. It's not just about what you consume, it's about what your body can actually use. Now, before you think the answer is to run to the store and buy supplements, pause, because the body responds better to natural sources. Leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, nuts and seeds like pumpkin and almonds, avocado, bananas, and sweet potatoes. These foods not only provide the right minerals, but they do so in a form your body recognizes. Here's an easy shift you can make. Introduce a mineral-rich evening snack that supports your nervous system and fluid regulation. Something as simple as a small bowl of steamed spinach with olive oil and pumpkin seeds can deliver calming magnesium, potassium, and healthy fats that work together to promote better sleep. Add a slice of banana or half an avocado, and you've got a powerful combination. Also, consider your cooking methods. Steaming vegetables instead of boiling them preserves more of the magnesium and potassium content. Avoid pairing mineral-rich foods with high-phosphorus items like colas or processed meats, which can disrupt the delicate absorption process. One more tip: make sure your digestion is working efficiently. Bloating, constipation, or heartburn are signs that your gut may not be breaking down food properly, which means fewer minerals are being absorbed. Incorporating fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, or a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar before meals can help restore that digestive function. Everything is connected. When your mineral levels are balanced, your nervous system relaxes. Your muscles, including the bladder wall, respond more appropriately. Your kidneys regulate fluid better, and your brain produces the right signals at the right time. This is why people who focus solely on sleep hygiene often see limited results. If the internal chemistry isn't supported, the external routine falls short. But when both work together, the results can feel miraculous. This is the missing link for so many. And while adding mineral-rich foods may seem like a small change, the ripple effects are powerful. More stable energy, calmer evenings, fewer night wakings, and better overall mood. Still, there is one more key step that brings everything full circle. A simple, natural ingredient that, when used correctly, not only enhances mineral absorption, but also acts directly on the pathways involved in sleep and bladder control. Ignoring this step can dramatically reduce the benefits of everything you've done so far. Worse, using it the wrong way can lead to digestive discomfort or nutrient loss. So pay close attention to what comes next. Now that you understand the power of mineral balance and how deeply it influences your sleep and nighttime bladder control, it's time to bring it all together. You've learned how food timing, hydration, nervous system balance, and mineral intake work in harmony. But there's one natural remedy that acts like a catalyst, unlocking the potential of everything you've applied so far. It's simple, it's accessible, and when used the right way, it can amplify your results in a profound way. That ingredient is pumpkin seed. Not the roasted, salted kind you find at a baseball game. We're talking about raw, organic pumpkin seeds, also known as pepitas. These small seeds are rich in key minerals like magnesium and zinc, but they also contain natural plant compounds known as phytosterols. And here's why that matters. Phytosterols have been studied for their ability to support prostate and bladder health. They help reduce inflammation in the urinary tract and may help relax the muscles of the bladder wall, making it less likely to trigger that urgent signal in the middle of the night. This is one of the reasons pumpkin seed extract is often included in natural supplements for urinary health. But here's what many people don't realize. When consumed in whole food form and at the right time, the benefits go beyond just the bladder. Pumpkin seeds also contain tryptophan, an amino acid your body uses to produce serotonin and later melatonin, your sleep hormone. But here's the catch. Tryptophan needs certain vitamins and minerals to be converted properly. That's where everything comes full circle. When you've already supported your mineral balance through whole foods and then add in a source of tryptophan like pumpkin seeds, your body is primed to use it efficiently. That means deeper sleep, fewer interruptions, and better recovery overnight. So how do you use it properly? Timing and pairing are key. You don't need a large amount. A small handful of raw pumpkin seeds, about 1 tablespoon, taken 1 to 2 hours before bed, can be effective. You can eat them alone or combine them with a small piece of banana or a few slices of avocado, both of which support potassium balance and provide a gentle source of healthy carbs. This combination helps stabilize blood sugar, relax the body, and prepare the nervous system for restful sleep. Make sure the seeds are raw and unsalted. Roasting can damage some of the beneficial fats, and added sodium can interfere with your body's fluid balance at night. If you prefer, you can grind them and sprinkle over steamed vegetables or mix into a calming herbal tea with chamomile or lemon balm. For those who prefer a warm beverage, blending the seeds into a small cup of warm almond milk can create a calming nighttime tonic. The healthy fats in both ingredients work together to soothe the digestive tract and promote the slow, steady release of melatonin. This is not just about sleep. It's about giving your body permission to repair. When you sleep uninterrupted, your hormones reset, your organs detoxify, and your cells regenerate. This is when healing truly happens. And every element we've discussed in this journey, from meal timing to mineral intake to nervous system support, has been building toward this. Many people feel stuck in a cycle of poor sleep and constant bathroom trips, believing that aging or stress is to blame. But you now know better. You know that your body wants to rest. It wants to recover. And when you remove the barriers and give it the right tools, it will. The best part? This method doesn't rely on extreme diets or harsh medications. It's grounded in the wisdom of your body's natural rhythm and the healing power of simple, whole foods. So here is your reminder. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's harmless if used incorrectly. Even the pumpkin seed, if overused or combined with the wrong foods, can cause digestive upset. That's why the method, timing, and balance matter. Respect the process, and your results will follow. You've made it to the final step in this journey, and it shows your commitment to your health. Now you have the knowledge, the tools, and the strategy. All that remains is consistency. Let this be your starting point, not your finish line. Because every night of deeper sleep is a step toward clearer thinking, more energy, better mood, and stronger immunity. And if you found this information helpful, pass it forward. Share it with someone you care about. Leave a comment, click like, or subscribe for more guidance like this. Together, we can help more people break free from restless nights and embrace the healing power of rest.